The king in the north! The king in the north!
Yo, what it do? What it do? So, I'm trying to see, my camera is blurry. So, we got him. We got him. And the college football world is in shambles. Everybody's mad at Michigan. How could you guys pay a college guy, a high school guy, $12 million? How could you do that? You guys don't have the coaches. You guys don't have the coaches for him. You're not going to be able to develop him. You guys are going to be trashed. Everybody got a lot to say. A whole lot of nothing to say. A whole lot of nothing. I see a lot of coping, a lot of people in their feelings. A lot of people in their feelings about what's going on in Michigan right now. Yeah, they complaining hard. Yeah, they complaining hard. The haters. The haters are out. The haters are out in full force because Michigan is playing ball and spending that money now. You know, and I was talking about it in the car for a second. Okay, that's the first domino. We got Bryce. He's bringing his boys with him. He's bringing the other recruits with him. So the question is, who are we going to get to help recruit? Who are we going to get to coach him? You know, who are we going to get to coach him up? Who I think we're gonna get next? I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I'm worried. I'm trying to figure out who they're going to get for the offensive coordinator, but I don't really have an idea. I think TJ was saying last night that hey, shut up. I think TJ was saying last night that there's somebody he knows, but he's not allowed to say it just yet. So, we'll see. We will see. Let me see. I guess I can bring some people in. People want to come up and say their piece about this Bryce. Hold on, links in the chat. Come on. Link is in the chat. But yeah, this Bryce coming to Michigan because before we even when it was reported that we were going after him, they were offering him 5, then 10. It was, oh, you guys can't get him. You guys can't get him. He's already, just give it up. He's going to LSU. Just give it up. This was from some Michigan fans and from rival fan bases. Just give it up. And the LSU fans, when it was pretty obvious, like LSU was worried because Michigan is 20 minutes from his school. So, a lot of LSU fans are like, well, Michigan, he hasn't been to Michigan's campus. Bro, he stays 20 minutes from the school. Michigan can see him on any given day. They don't have to be out there in front. He can go visit the school and not tell you. Like it's not a big deal, So they got bamboozled thinking that they had him. LSU got bamboozled thinking they had him. And it's sucks for them. It's good for us. But now we're seeing Ohio State fans in shambles about it. Like they're saying anything to try to. Right now, Ohio State fans are in a place where they're waiting to beat Michigan, but that's not going to bring them that much joy because the joy comes in seeing your rival sad or mad. That's where the joy comes in. The problem is we've already accepted that this season is trash. We've already accepted it. So they wanted to hope that we didn't get Bryce. And when we got Bryce and we all got happy, they trying to rain on our parade. Don't try to come rain on our parade because it ain't working. It ain't nothing y'all can say to rain on our parade. Oh, you guys don't have the coaches. Well, obviously they're going to get an offensive coordinator. Who it'll be, we'll see. But you need somebody proven, You need somebody proven, Oh, he might not be that good. Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll take our chances and find out. So it just kind of is what it is. Everybody wants us to feel bad, but it's not happening enough for them, even with this win. Because even if Ohio State beats us, because this year was really just a, what you call it. This down year was like a blessing in disguise. Chiron Moore might be playing chess. Let me just do a theory, a hypothesis. Chiron Moore might be playing chess with all of this. And all of this whole bad season, stay with me, this whole bad season was to get the donors involved for Michigan. So, look, stay with me. So, Chiron sacrificed this season to get the administration and the donors on board so Michigan can do whatever they want to do. Stay with me. I'm about to bring you on, Alpha. I'm about to bring you up. Hold on.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, first of all, love your channel, big fan. Go blue as always. And my question to you is, I'm still on there. My phone janky. My bad, man. My question to you is like, as far as the coordinator, obviously I know you're not cool with who we got, but who you think could take his place as far as the coordinator?
That honestly, I'm not really sure, bro. Like, I really don't know.
Me neither.
Because I don't know what direction they're trying to go in coordinator. Also, you know what I mean? Like, what type of offense are you trying to go pro style? Or are you trying to go pro style spread? Like, what are you trying to do? I think you froze.
Oh snap! I think
I can hear you. Oh, there you go.
With that in mind, because okay, we got Jayden Davis. Now, I haven't really seen too much of his footage, but what is he like? Is he like spread, or is he kind of like pro? Or
He's like a spread pro. Most of these college kids are spread pro. Like, he can sling it. The problem they say is he's a little frail, and his throwing motion is like he's got like a janky kind of throwing motion. It's like one of those elongated throwing motions. So it's not just a smooth drop back, and it's like a long kind of side army kind of release or something.
See, now I'm gonna have to go back and check, because last time I checked, he was like recruited as 5, but now didn't he go down to a 4-star? Or...
Yeah, he was 5, and then he dropped down to a 4-star. But like his film looks pretty good. He takes some chances, but all high school quarterbacks do, but he ain't. I doubt if he beats Bryce, especially when he's about to get this money. Bryce is a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? Like he looks ready, like physically almost. And then with the off season being able to add more weight, he looks like you gonna start him. You kind of last night on Voice of College Football, they were comparing him to Vince Young or Jaden Daniel. He kind of reminds me of Trevor Lawrence. The way, I'm not sure if he'll be that good, but his body, as far as athletically in his body, he kind of reminds me of Trevor Lawrence a little bit.
Right. Yep. Yeah, man. That's the only question I had, was basically the coordinator situation. I'm gonna step off here, but once again, go blue, and this is a great day for us. So I just love to see the Buckeyes pissed off. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right,
Peace.
bro.
For sure.
Hello.
Baby.
Oh, really? Hold on, y'all. Mar.
What up, though?
What up?
So, LSU fans are having a meltdown.
Oh, they going crazy. This is
And then the guy, Matt, the dude, locked on, or I think, yeah, locked on LSU. He keeps saying that Bryce Underwood ain't been on campus since July. I don't know where they getting that information from, but that is not true at all. He was just arguing on the show with another guy. Hold on, let me close the door. They were he was just arguing with the LSU dude talking about you know, Bryce ain't been on campus, but Bryce has been circulating around Michigan for the last month and a half. And they only think that it's the money and it's not the money. They had Tom Brady in his ear. They had that billionaire in his ear, where the billionaire's girlfriend, that's an alumnus from Michigan. Um, Sharon been talking to him because I just read an article where Harbaugh broke that. Harbaugh, strained that relationship between Bryce Underwood. So Sharon Moore really put in work to get him to come, because he really wanted to come to Michigan. I don't think people really understand that. He was going to commit if Harbaugh wasn't going, do all that with the NFL or whatever Harbaugh called himself doing. He wanted to come to Michigan, but he chose LSU.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, man, they just flipping out right now. I'm not enjoying it. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it because they saying anything. They want anything to try to downplay us, but it's they know.
What's going on with you earlier with your video?
Oh, my girl had called me, so I got edged off. That's why I said I was gonna make a
Oh
live.
yeah, man, I ain't catch that. I'm like, man, what's up, man? I was like, man, is YouTube down?
No, no. It's like when I get on live, sometimes my girl calls me, and then I have to
I mean, you gotta answer, man. I feel it. But yeah, man, is there any more fireworks today? Are we gonna get any more good news?
I don't know. Ain't no telling. The way the dominoes fell and we got him, and then the way it was just trending everywhere was crazy, and all the recruits. So right now we looking at that. We the new.
You said that. You said that, Johnny. You said once we get him, everybody's gonna fall in. The domino's gonna fall. He was the first domino, and then that's the second man. But I hope we get Meadows, that boy from Alabama. They just offered it another 5-star edge. They really trying to buck up on these elite players right now. And Chiron Moore really said that he wants to finish this class off on the 4th. He want to finish it. He don't want to go into when the next Saturday, February. He don't want to be dealing with that. He wanted signed, sealed, and delivered now. Because a lot of these kids are early enrollees, and that helps for next season. So I'm proud of that.
Hold on, let me bring Greg up.
All right, bet.
Hey Johnny, what's going on, buddy?
How you doing, Greg? Long time listener and donator to the page. Shout out to Greg.
My biggest concern is the offensive and defensive lines, man. That defensive line is going to get decimated after this year, and I'm not sure what their transfer portal plans are as far as that goes. But if we don't have anybody blocking or tackling up front, man, I don't care. And I feel like Dave Portnoy's been out there saying that he spent like $10.5 million. I mean, on this guy. I don't know what's true and what isn't. This is an NFL contract. It doesn't seem like it's NIL stuff. So that's just some concerns that I have, that offensive line is bad. And then we're losing first round draft picks across the board on the D line. So that's my biggest concern. What are your thoughts?
Well, Go ahead, Marmar.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in. Well, Dave Portnoy didn't even have nothing to do with this. The
Oh, he
thing about
didn't?
David Portnoy, he it was already in motion with Bryce Underwood. It was already in motion before David even said anything about that. Okay, he just said that he was going to help with the transfer portal quarterback. He has 3 million for that. Okay, and then I want to touch on the defensive line and the offensive line. They trying to retain TJ Guy, Benny, Brant, and all them are coming along. Etta, all them coming along. They're gonna retain them. They're gonna really attack the portal to where we have a class. The recruiting class will be a top 5, and then our um, transfer portal will be number 1. They really going to attack. They got so much money put aside for the transfer portal. As people gonna want to come now that Bryce is there. So don't worry about it, Greg. We in good hands, like Allstate.
Well, we need receivers too. We need a primetime
Yeah,
receiver of some kind.
you do. They trying to go after that boy from Indiana, the one that transferred into the portal. They going after him and whoever is available because here in a couple weeks after the Big Ten championship or whenever the last I think Big Ten is the last one that's played because they played the other ones earlier. Once the championship games are over, the transfer portal opened up. So it's a lot of guys that Michigan will be, hand picking from that, throwing a bag at. So we should be loaded on the recruiting side and loaded on the transfer portal side. And also, you have Mangum that ain't played. You got the boy that came from UNLV, the corner. You got Ryan Moore coming back. You got Zeke coming back. You got Jair coming back. Yeah, you got Human, the heat seeking missile, man. And then you got if I was Makari Page, I would come back too because he's not ready. Um, he had a down season this year, so if I was him, I would come play along Rod Moore and the new guys, and then you also got the cornerbacks that's coming in, the D backs. So we gonna be all right, man. We'll never see anything like this again. Our donors are ready to pay for it.
And what do you think about the offensive coordinator situation? That's awful.
Well, I can't speak on that. I'll just give you a hint. They're going to demote Kirk Campbell back to quarterback coach. I don't know if you've seen that Biff Posey is back. He ain't really hired yet. Oh yeah, Mick Burrows, good one, Jay Marion. Mick Burrows will be back because he out injured. But yeah.
Okay, is Biff Poggi was an offensive coordinator?
No, he was the glue that. Yeah, he was the assistant head coach.
Okay.
Chiron Moore don't have one of them. So he's coming back. He's going to be definitely on the staff next year. He already made it clear that he's coming. He's there today, and he's going to be there tomorrow for the game. I don't know what he's doing next week, but he's a big reason why we went on that 3-year run. He was the glue.
How do you guys feel about Nick Sheridan? He gave us fits when he was at Indiana.
I kind of like Sheridan.
Yeah, he's a Michigan man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be against that.
Who is coaching right now?
He's at Alabama, right?
Is he still at Alabama?
Yeah. I mean, they out.
I thought he was at Alabama. I could be wrong.
I'd rather have Tom Herman or reason why I say Tom Herman because the job he did with Cardell Jones, and then our Mullins, Dan Mullins.
Right on.
Yeah, I guess he is still at Alabama.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can pull off an upset against Ohio State. That would make our entire season.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to tell you, Greg.
I need that.
We might do that. I just feel like we certain things that just took place. The mantra of the so first Bryce Underwood. Okay, that's big for the University of Michigan. It's the first time we ever had the #1 overall recruit in the country. I don't know where Rashawn Gary was. I think he was just the overall #1 defensive player in the country. We got the #1 overall. We ain't never had that hit Michigan.
Jabril
Then
Peppers?
he was just a 5-star.
Oh, okay. I thought he was
like
up
a
there.
top 10 player in the class.
Yeah, he was. He was top 10. So, but yeah, and they never hit that. Now eyes are open to kids that Michigan really pulled that off. What's going on? So in the mind of a recruit is like, what's going on in Michigan that made Bryce Underwood want to go to Michigan, the #1 overall? Let's go check out and see what's going on here. So, that just opened up the floodgates for that. And then I feel like that helps the locker room right now. Chiron Moore really pulled this off. It wasn't just Chiron Moore; it's a whole collective of University of Michigan people. And I just feel like that lights a fire, man. And then that rivalry game. I don't know if anybody paying attention. Chiron Moore is 2-0 in rivalry games right now. Hold on, Penn State. Is Penn State our rivalry?
Not really,
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's not official.
Okay. All right. Well, he beat Ohio State.
Beat Michigan State this year.
Yep. And then he beat Minnesota. So he is 3-0 in rivalry games. It seems like Chiron Moore like to show up to rivalry games. But hey, I ain't mad at that. But I really think that he's gonna pull it off, especially with the energy that just came to us last night and how he's feeling. And yeah, I think they just gonna go to Columbus and take care of business. It'll be the best complete game you ever see the whole season.
Well, if Wink can stop blitzing, if we can throw some screen passes, couple of drives, keep them off balance or something, man. But I think we have a real good shot with that front four. I think if Wink just relies on that front four and drops back, I think we have a really good shot of beating them.
Yeah, I think that's the game plan.
All right, fellas. It was good talking to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy. Later.
Go ahead, Johnny.
That is Greg Saudi. He has been around long time. He's been watching me for a long time. Been donating. Greg is that
when I get my bag up, Johnny, just know I'll be showing love.
No, I appreciate it. I'm gonna bring Archangel.
What's good, fam? How you doing, brother?
I'm all right, bro. How you doing?
Blessed. I can't complain, man. I'm just ecstatic about the news we received yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that was the news that came out of nowhere when it dropped. I was like, because Maze called me, Maze Madman called me. I was like, we got him. I'm like, got who?
Yeah. To be 100 with you, man, I don't really actually think it was a blindside situation so much. I think little hints been dropped, for the past few weeks, man. I think it's just a matter of because of precedence of especially with this generation with the social media situation and how seriously you take these things. People are apprehensive, but to be very honest with you, I think just some of these hints that have been dropped are just plain and simple. Now, this kind of vindicates anybody who thought that. I think the young man was being straightforward in his camp about what it was. I have a few folks that I know, man, talk about certain meetings were breaking down between LSU and Bryce. Things were not going well. So hey, I'm not really surprised to see this at all. That at the end of the day, one school came correct and one school's falling apart. It's just that simple.
It's fact.
It's hard to recruit. It's hard to recruit against somebody when Michigan really went all in. They're down the street from this kid. Like LSU, you're what, 2,000 miles away? Like it's hard to recruit against Michigan being right there. They were fool enough to think that he hadn't been to Michigan's campus. Like, bro, he's been. Right. He's just not telling you about it.
Absolutely. And I do think, and just giving Chiron more credit, because I think my brother right here made a great point. This was not just Chiron. This was a collective, collective effort by different boosters, everybody who was involved with Michigan. And to be 100 with you, I think that's really what landed this young man. But I do not want to take some credit from Chiron in the sense that Chiron did a great job of marketing himself as a guy who can develop this young man. because at the end of the day, I've always said I'm a big fan of Bryce's support system. Because when he first made his commitment to LSU, of course we want him to come and wear the maize and blue. But at the same time, it's good to see a lot of these young brothers thinking big picture, man. It's good to see young men his age critically thinking about, okay, this is this, but what do my long-term prospects look like? Because it's nothing arrogant about this young man to realize that, look, man, with the tools I have, I should be an NBA, NFL MVP candidate one day if I put it all together. So this young man is thinking from the aspect, okay, what's going to get me to the league, get me ready to make the real check. At the same time, I think that Ward Manuel and Chiron did a great job of having a mindset of getting modern, man. I think that's what's been holding Michigan back, to be very honest with you. And I think that Chiron has really did a good job of marketing himself in the sense that, young man, that was Jim, that was this regime, this is me now. Come be with us. This is what we're trying to do, et cetera, whatnot, and sending out a message. And to be very honest, this is going to cause a ripple effect, man. That I think people, some, especially our detractors, don't realize the impact this is going to have on Michigan going forward. That now, just because Bryce Underwood flipped, just because, and that's all that matters, all these other top-tier young talents are going to start checking us out. All these other guys, without, having things like, the extra promises under the table, et cetera. Some of these big-end football superpowers, man. To be real with you, these kids will still commit being five-star prospects, knowing they may not start initially just because it's Alabama, just because it's Georgia, etc. This right here opens up the floodgates for us to have recruiting power like that.
That's a fact.
And then go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so then on top of the fact that now we also send the message that when we want you, man, we come correct with the loot. You put 2 plus 2, you put 1 plus 1 together, you got 2, brother. It's what it is. So not only is it that we have the recruiting power, now they know we've shown the precedence that we will come with the money. And I'm glad to see us get a modern take on recruiting, man, because at the end of the day, people can complain as much as they want to about this, about, we don't like what college football is becoming, etc. It is what it is. It's 2024. Time to get modern. This is the landscape now. And it's about time Michigan acted like they are with the times. And I'm glad they came correct. This is a once in a generation talent right here. We haven't seen a quarterback prospect like this since Trevor Lawrence. And to be very honest with you, Bryce is coming in more credentialed than Trevor is out of his high school career.
Yeah,
Right fact.
he looks the part to the athletically. Athletically, he reminds me of Trevor Lawrence, Vince Young, Jaden Daniels somewhat. I think Jaden Daniels probably quicker, but that same kind of frame and the way they move.
Yeah, I agree. What do y'all think about the OC situation? Because I think I have a name that I haven't heard floated around much, but I think he'd be a great pickup, especially with Bryce coming in.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, honestly. I've been hearing people say Nick Sheridan a lot since he's a Michigan guy. But besides that, I don't really know. I haven't thought too hard about it, honestly.
I think we should take a look at Brennan Marion, man.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
from UNLV.
UNLV.
Okay,
Okay.
I've been hearing we should about him too. Electric recruiter, and then look what he did with old boy they have over there at USC starting, man. I mean, he took this kid from a guy who was a marginal recruit to now all of a sudden Power 5 schools are interested in him to the point where they think they can build an offense around him. Yeah, I think Marion is it, and for me, it's between 2 guys, Loxley and Brennan Marion. And I lean Brennan because I think he fits a little bit better with the new Chiron Moore regime in the sense that this is new blood, young energy that can really identify with this generation of players. And I also think that's the reason why Bryce came, man. You know what I mean? I sometimes I like, don't get me wrong, you have to have your level of experience of actually knowing how to run a team and not having a staff that understands how to run a team. But at the same time, I do think, we're watching kind of a changing of the guard in college football as well. Some of these old guys are getting phased out. And, I really do think a lot of the support systems around these young men as a whole, not just the coaches, not just, their skills trainers, etc., are a little bit more educated, into what some of these guys who are coaches at the next level have to offer. And so I think that is one of those things that they're looking at, like, all right, what are their schemes? Are their schemes modern? Are their schemes, something that's going to match up with what college football is now? And I think you have a lot more of these young men support systems coming in that actually understand what these guys are doing. So that's why I lean more towards a Brendan Marion. He's young. He's an electric recruiter, man. The guy really knows how to recruit. And I really like what he's doing there at UNLV, man, especially when it comes to quarterback development.
Yeah, I've been seeing UNLV a lot. I heard it more like mid-season. I haven't heard it as much lately, but I've been hearing a lot of people talk about UNLV a lot.
Hey, Angel. The quarterback they had before he played the 3 games and transferred out, he was a dog.
Yeah.
So if we didn't get Bryce, I was gonna say Michigan should have went after him. Forget Miller Moss, homeboy that played the first 3 games, and then the quarterback that's playing now, he's doing pretty good. So I feel you on that OC, man. I watched a game against Syracuse. And they were doing a lot of things. I'm like, dang, Michigan should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. And I think Chiron.
I like Loxley.
I do as well. I've
never seen Loxley. I don't even seen him as a coach because I really want to pay attention to Alabama before he took the Maryland job.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Let's just look at this body of work, man. Look at his body of work. He does it, don't he, brother? Like, look at both the Tagovailoa brothers, man. Like, bro, his body of work is insane. And the thing is, he's got a recent body of work. And when it comes to development as well. So if you want a more experienced guy, Loxley be my pick. But I think if you want to keep up with like this young energy movement, Brendan Marion looks like a genius. Just like a young genius, man. I would be satisfied with either direction Chiron wants to go. I've always been a Chiron supporter, man. I thought the calling for his job was ridiculous, to be very honest with you. I mean, what coach isn't given multiple years to get his system established, man? If we let guys like Rich Rodriguez and Brady Hoke come here and stink up the joint, man, come in as experienced coaches, just come in and stink up the joint, why are we not letting the guy who's got his first head coaching job get a chance to actually get his system in place and get his recruits in? And I'm never going to call for a coach's job before he gets his first actual, real 2 recruiting classes in, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think that's something rational to do because we don't know his pure system until he gets his guys to build it around. And so now with this, you got a tier 1 stud, and Chiron can really start to open up and really show folks what he's really trying to do at Michigan. I really do think he's trying to get a modern take on the offense as well. And that's why I like both Marion and Loxley, because they've shown that both of these guys can produce a balanced offensive attack. You get what I'm saying? In both their offense, you've seen they can still. What's up?
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought I muted.
You good, G? They can, once again, they're extremely effective running the ball and throwing the ball. So, you're going to be able to also recruit, both the run game and the quarterbacks of the future as well, man. So I like both of those guys.
Yeah.
My bad, Johnny.
I like that. I'm gonna have to look at the UNLV coach more to see what he's got going in. James Madison, somebody was saying their offensive coordinator, but
I'm straight.
I like Moxley.
I'm good on James Madison
against good teams when he has less talent, and a lot of the time he's cooking. It's just they can't execute. They can't execute the plays. They'll drop a pass or something.
Oh, yeah, because they don't have the talent. You know what I'm saying? And I think Loxley could really put himself in a better position. In fact, he deserves a better position than what he's doing there at Maryland. So, as I said, I would 100% be behind the Loxley hire if that's what we got, or Brendan Marion if we want to continue this pure young energy movement. I don't mind either one, but whatever we get, man, as I said, I think the prospects of the future are very promising. Also, what do you guys think about the defensive side of the ball? You think Martindale is something we should continue to hold on to, or you think it's time to move off of him as well at the end of the day?
Now that's the question, because I'm in a little gray area with Wink right now because we know his scheme is more complex. Okay, he's been getting us burnt, but as the season has gone along, they're getting better, and he's doing better in these games. Like, so I always want somebody to point to, okay, you're not doing your job right. I can't point it at Wink in these last few games, and even some of the other games. His was more Texas and a few like Washington probably. But when the offense isn't giving you anything, it's hard to blame the defensive coordinator. So I think Wink probably deserves another year. I'm really trying to see what he does against Ohio State. Can you give us a full game? Because he's doing a lot of first half, second half, good. Give me a complete game, Wink. Like, I want to see, and I'm hoping to see a complete game out of him. But he's been doing better. I think some of his mistakes were he was trying to, for whatever reason, I don't know if he didn't talk to mentor or whatever, but like you would early in the season, it was either blitz or you rushing four straight up the field. They not doing, but now he's doing more what mentor did, twists and stunts. When you don't have as good of a talent on the edge, and things like that's that, a big one too. Twist and stunt.
That's right.
You're getting pressure off of your scheme. That's
right.
That's what mentor did last year. So if it was McGregor, if it was Harrell, if it was Stewart, if it was Moore, we were able to get pressure because it was off of scheme. He was twisting and stunning, and you couldn't pick it up with all those dogs, Jenkins and all of them, Cam Good.
Absolutely
overwhelming. It's taken Wink most of this year to realize he needs to do that. Now, if he's really
I agree.
Doing it, that's fine.
I agree.
Also, okay, yeah. Also, my bad, brother. I just want to. Hey, Johnny. Also, they starting to build a little bit of depth. If you notice these last games, they've been rotating a lot of fresh bodies now for the starter bodies. Because listen, I don't know if y'all listen to the M Go Blue that guy, he always doing the little show. I don't know if y'all ever catch that.
Which one?
He have players on there that don't really play, but they getting real buzz. They've been playing these last couple games. Since Johnson been out, they ain't. I mean, the first half of Indiana, okay. But the second half, they wasn't giving up nothing. Them cornerbacks wasn't giving up nothing. And yeah, they using that depth. So by the time we get to Ohio State, we're gonna see a whole different team that we seen in the beginning of the year. I think, like I said, they didn't get them practices because of the national championship run. And then Harbaugh dilly-dallying around, and then JJ, dilly-dallying around. It really hurt us. So they had to grow up. They had to grow up during the season. So that's just what it was. They had to grow up, and you could tell that they grew up. I mean, I know the offense was stagnant, but they showed life too.
I agree, brother.
They got to catch. It got to coincide with each other. I'm throwing you the ball, you got to catch it. I'm throwing it under. Yeah, you got to catch it, and I think that we'll see these last 2 weeks. We'll see tomorrow at 3:30. We're gonna see tomorrow what they what they were supposed to look like. So
I agree with that. I think sometimes as a coordinator, I mean, and piggyback off Johnny's saying, man, like you develop sometimes as well with your personnel. And I think it's also about building that trust, man. This is why I give Wink one more year. Because my thing is give Chiron the chance to get his guys in there. Let's give Wink, a recruiting cycle to actually get guys he can pick up off the circuit to be able to do some of the things that he really wants to do. And some things I heavily dislike from Wink, but some things, as I said, I've liked a lot. What I do like is, and giving him credit, the ability to adapt. Some of these guys don't have that ability, man. They just run one scheme because it shows you the depth of their skill set as a coordinator. And so I do like Martindale showing depth and versatility in his skill set and his competence as a coordinator in the sense that he can actually make the adjustments. Sometimes, man, from a fan perspective, even if we have a girth of understanding of the game, we talk about these coordinators and these coaches and talk about what they need to be doing. And oftentimes we look over the fact that those guys really can't do that, and it shows. You know the tree by the fruit that it bears. And so I feel where Johnny's coming from in the sense that seeing that those adjustments, that adaptation as the season goes on, that kind of actually encourages me a little bit with Wink, because I think what, if he can make these adjustments on the fly, whatnot, and actually adapt, come up off of some of the maybe even that old school ego or whatever, whatnot, and be able to utilize what he has to the fullest. Let's give him a recruiting cycle to actually get the guys in there he wants, and then we'll see what we can do next year. But to your point, I agree, man, that sometimes these coaches don't realize what they have at the beginning of the season. And now as these young guys start to play, you start to see them practice. Some of these guys are more ready than you initially thought that they were. Some of these guys are hungrier. They start to outplay some of the upperclassmen, things like that, to show you that they're actually better. And some of these guys start to pop in the gym. You know what I'm saying, man? So it goes to show you they're actually ready for on-field time. So I think we're definitely deeper than we were at the beginning of the season, just by lieu of understanding that, okay, these kids actually can come and play some significant minutes now. You know what? I think this young dog is ready to go, man. Even if it's just a matter of hunger, in terms of effort, what he's going to give me on the field. Look, as much as Will's done, I don't have anything negative to say about the young fella. Young brother, go get your bag. But Will is ready to go to the league, man. Will is checked out, and in a way, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? In a way, rightfully so. But it's time. It's time. He's gonna get him the bag, man. It's somebody coming up behind him, like, look, dog, I haven't had my chance to make my mark, so I'm hungry to show that I can get the next call up. And so I think that's kind of what we're seeing for the improvement on the defensive end. That, man, some of these guys are ready to move on. They're in that phase to do that, and some of these young underclassmen, man, I've showed just by that lieu of having that heart that they're ready to go. So I agree with you on that, brother.
Facts. And this also makes Wink Martindale really go and think about how he runs his defense compared to how he first came here. It's making him work like mentor worked. I taught these guys this, and I just can't come in here because NFL, college, different game. Okay, these NFL you drafted. In college, you are recruited. So this is making him become the DC that he always been when he first came to the Ravens. So basically what they are running, again, Johnny, Art, we are going to be the Ravens of college football. Okay, you got Bryce Underwood on the offensive side. All right, so he's still talking to the Harbaugh. He talked to both of them. He just said it. I talked to him. I talked to Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops, the head coach in the UFL. He's still coaching, so he's probably giving him advice on it. He got all these people around him that's telling him you have to run it like this. And the Harbaugh brothers are both in his ear. You got to run it like I ran it, but run it how you gonna run it. But keep the Raven stamp on it. So that's what they doing. You're going to see an offense that until defenses catch up and defend it, you got Wink on one side, and then you're going to have whoever coming to be the OC on the other side, and they're going to run it just like the Ravens offense. It's going to be identical. Y'all going to be like, people going to be like, what, how we stop, bruh? It's Bryce Underwood.
Can't stop it.
LeBron. Yeah.
Can't stop it. They're building a monster over there, man. They're building a monster over there. That's why I thought, that's why I continue to support Chiron. I thought he was the right guy, man. This is my thing, man. I don't care how brilliant a natural football mind anybody is. It's like any other aspect, man. You have to have the experience, man. Like, so for me, man, I'm a professional kickboxer outside of my day job, man. Coming up, man, what I'm saying, I had a lot of talent, et cetera, whatnot. And I tell my students this even still to this day. I remember my dad had me spar a guy. He was probably like, I want to say he was like 5'8", man, 5 and 9. Had a couple of stoppage losses too, right? And it doesn't matter how much more talented I was than this guy, but I was 13, number one. Number one, he's 30, brother. And at the end of the day, it was still like being in there with a grown man, brother. It's a completely different ball game, man. I was far grown man and all this other stuff, whatnot too. But it's a different ball game. So it doesn't matter how naturally talented you are. You have to get the experience at this level. It doesn't matter. So with Chiron, I see the football mind, but he has to take his blows in order to grow at this level, man. It doesn't matter about what he can actually do, the things that are in his mind to do. There's more that goes into it than just the X's and O's. You have to understand how to recruit. You have to understand how to look at guys. You have to understand how to develop. And you have to understand that from the perspective of a guy who's running the ship now. You're not an employee anymore in that aspect. You're the head guy. And so I think he's developed as the season has gone on with that too, how to make adjustments as the head guy. You get what I'm saying? And I think we're starting to see that improvement and that growth as the season is going on, man. And then just being aware of, what he could have changed, etc. So, I personally still stick by him. And I think this recruitment cycle shows, man, that this was correct. When we talked about that, a lot went into being able to get Bryce, and then all this trickle-down effect of all these other young men that are going to come in here because of Bryce. But I also do think Chiron did a good job of being able to market himself and then show growth and improvement himself, man. So I'm very excited to see what the tenets of the prospects of the future have, brother, because this right here, man, as Mar was saying, dog, if we do this right, this might be a monster unlike Michigan football has never seen before.
Yeah, it's definitely got the potential because with the donors plus Chiron, being a young black head coach, he's going to relate to most of these kids are black.
Absolutely.
So he's going to relate to him. That's different. Harbaugh was awkward anyway, so it didn't matter what color. He was black, white, right, Hispanic. He was awkward anyway. He was a weird dude. So
very much so.
So that always hurt us a little bit in recruiting, So having Chiron Moore, charismatic young black head coach, he's going to relate to these kids way more than Harbaugh would. Plus, he's got the money now, so things are looking up. He's just got to take his lumps, like you said, his growing pains. We gotta live through.
And we as the fans have to stick with him. And you're right, Johnny. We as the fans got to stick with him, man. All this, pitchforks and torches and whatnot, just because the guy, like, what? I was on another podcast this morning, man, and I asked the same question. I'm like, name me one other program that was this upperclassman heavy last season, and it has to start from complete zero. What other program is that? Just us, to be very honest with you. Starting from this point, just us, man. And we're not, at least not yet, like these other programs loaded with 5-star talent waiting in the wings to replace our upperclassmen. All of our NFL caliber guys are upperclassmen, juniors, seniors, and they were ready to play at the next level. We didn't have the high 4-star, 5-star guys. I'm talking about a whole recruitment cycle of them to replace all these dudes, man. And so that's not how that works. So just to think, I predicted we finish 7-5. You know what I'm saying? Me and my boys, my group. And so what are we, 5-5 right now? Got Northwestern coming up. We'll clap them. Not worried about that at all. And so, yeah. So I see around there, 7-5, 6-6, something like that. That's what I thought we were going to be at realistically, man. I think sometimes that national championship. I think, to be very real with you, man, I'm kind of glad this happened this season because it goes to show you. The truth of the matter is you have the hardcore fan base of individuals that actually know what they're talking about in terms of knowing their sport, and you have the casual fan base. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You can have been watching Michigan football for 40 years and still be a casual fan if you're not taking in the nuances of the reality of what this is. This is not just, this is not NCAA. This is not 2K. This is not a video game, man. Work goes into this. This guy's coming, started from complete scratch. He has no, super high-level recruits, at least. And going back to what Mar was saying, you have to play these guys. You have to have the season progress to realize with some of these young men coming in 3-star, some walk-on, some 2-star, whatnot, you have to actually play the season, realize what you have in terms of your underclassmen. So it's not something that was automatic. Well, we know young brother right here, he's the next up. We didn't have that kind of talent coming in this time. So now that some of these young men are starting to play and show you they're actually ready from an X's and O's standpoint, and they're ready physically, now we can make those adjustments, and now we're getting better on both sides of the ball. So, man, Chiron, man, got to give this guy time. At least, to me, at least 3 years. You got to have two. You have to have two straight solid recruiting cycles, and then let me see what you can do with that until I start making a judgment of what caliber coach somebody is, man. But what he's done so far, I'm impressed. Actually, I really am.
Yeah, with what he's doing in recruiting, it's impressive. I mean, we haven't been a top 10 recruiting class in a while, and it looks like it might be able to get almost to top 5, maybe. So that
we get these last couple commitments, and his first year. You're right.
You got anything else? Because I'm about to wind it on down.
No, brother. I appreciate you letting me on, man. Chop it up, etc. Been watching the channel for a while, my guy, and just wanted to come in and go on those little tidbits, brother.
Yes, sir. You got good points, bro. If you want to come back Sundays, I usually go live for an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3. Just depends. But, just jumped on here because I was in the car earlier, and then my girl called me. I jumped off.
I hear you.
That's why I told people I was going to jump back on.
I've had to mute a couple times myself because my wife and my children, walking through in the air. So I got to, I feel you, my guy. I feel you. All right, but I appreciate you, man.
Yes. Let me see. You got anything else for I will go on and get ready to close it down? You ain't paying attention. I'm finna wind it all down anyway, Mar. My brother. Ooh. Oh, I don't know why that was so funny to me. Ooh. Let me read these super chats. Ooh. Appreciate the cool Moet becoming a member. Sam, appreciate the $5 super chat. I'm giving more 2 years with Bryce to be a contender. I think that's reasonable expectation for a $12 million deal. Yeah, Chiron Moore getting Bryce, getting this class that he's putting together, that just gives you more time. You can't knock a guy. Okay, he coming in. We knew the roster was bare, most of it. We knew. Now, we would have hoped that they would have did more in the portal, but it is what it is. Now we see, boom, top 10 recruiting class coming in, number 1 overall player, 2026, top 10 recruiting class, boom. Now, so we see what we're getting in recruiting. Now, this offseason, he's got to go at it. Cornerback, offensive line, defensive line. You got to get as many dudes as you can. See who rises to the top. You got to get proven guys in the portal, though. Another transfer portal QB. We need that depth, but they gotta go at it this offseason in the portal. But he's earned probably 3 years for sure. Well, 2 more years. Appreciate the 199. Ron Tarver said, check you out trying to recruit. I don't like this. Yeah, you shouldn't like it because this ain't gonna end good for y'all. This ain't gonna end good for y'all, OSU fans. It ain't gonna end good for you. It's gonna end bad for y'all. I agree. We sacrificed this season to get the donors on board. That's why we ain't talking about this season, because it was a sacrifice. Now we got all the money. We pulled a bank heist, boy. We sacrificed this season for the greater good because we got the checkbooks open now. And they deep. Scrooge McDuck type deep. Going swimming, brother. So, yeah, we sacrificed this. And shout out to Connor Stallions. Somebody get this man a statue. Get this man a statue for what he is doing for this school. This dude is a Michigan legend. So it is what it is. Let's put Dante Moore. I just got tired. I done got hype and got tired. I done got hype and got tired just instantly. So I'm gonna jump off of here. I need to get something to eat. Appreciate y'all joining in. You know, I was trying to do that car live. My girl called, messed it up. You know, so I told y'all I was gonna jump back on. So I did. But appreciate the donations. Like, share, subscribe. And as always, go.
Great to be a Michigan Wolverine is great.